My soul is shining like a diamond. You know, don't gotta stress, he got perfect timing. This life is hard, but I keep grinding. Cause I know God's with me. I have all I need, yeah. I have all I need. I have all I need. I have all I need, yeah. I have all I need. I have all I need. I have all I need, yeah. Man, it came in abundance. Undefeated over here, we live in triumphant. Look, it is what it is. You can hate it or love it. I've been through hell and high water, but I'm rising above it. I know my God got my back. That's been told. Damn, I did some dirt in my past, but I'm chose now. I'm on my marathon, baby. I can't slow down. So when you see me on your block, it's time to go down. At the band, keep your trophy. I got the crown. Yeah, favor on me, pass that around. Look, this for my rallies, the lost and found. The praise is heavy, they know the sound. And that's no lie, this Bible like 4-5. Might open up your eyes, might change up your whole life. Real, ask me how I know, cause you did it for me. Look, I got all I need now, I'm different. So shining like a diamond. You know, don't gotta stress, you got perfect timing. This life is hard, but I keep grinding. Cause I know God's with me. I have all I need, yeah. I have all I need. I have all I need. I have all I need. Yeah. I have all I need. I have all I need. I have all I need.
Simply receive it. Daddy put me on and they can't believe it. Globals on the go, I vacate the scene with. Father, Holy Ghost, and make way for Jesus. I got all I need, I don't need to stress out. When I'm overseas, gotta hold the West down. Several angel armies every time I step out. Devil run up on me, we gon' make them skip town. Tell them demons sit down. Daddy supply all my needs. But get too much and I fall on my knees. Narrow my path as I follow my dream. That anointed, appointed to follow my team. Mind perfect, time imperfect. I'm not saying I've been perfect, I've been working. I've been trying to blind the serpent, find my purpose. Show me what's behind the curtain. I've been searching on me.
Shining like a diamond. You know, don't gotta stress, he got perfect timing. This life is hard, but I keep grinding. Cause I know God's with me. I have all I need, yeah. I have all I need. I have all I need. I have all I need, yeah. I have all I need. 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 Man, love it, stand up. Good guy. Great guy. Carnival election.
Yes, awesome, funny, great, love her. Very good time. Very good time. I'm Suspect Davis on Carnival election. We had a great time. He's awesome. Come see him.
Just like Davis on the Carnival election, never go on. His entire audience is throwing all time. Great show.
I'm hot cause I'm fly. You ain't cause you not. This is why.
Yep. This is why we hot. Hey, welcome to the session, Bible Beats and Bars. I hope you are excited about today's show. We got a dope show for you. When I say a dope show, I mean it's extremely amazing. As you saw previously, we have an amazing, clean comedian, none other. Let me tell y'all something. We got a good time today, but it's none other than Spike Davis. Welcome to the show, Spike. What's happening, my brother? What's happening?
What's going on? How you doing, brother? Thank you, man, for having me.
I am so glad you can hang out with us today. You know what I mean? What's up?
I appreciate it. I'm excited, man. We had talked before, and I'm finally able to get on with you. The schedule slowed down just a bit, so I'm here hanging.
That's what's up. Well, welcome to the session, Bible Beats and Bars, man. And we do this every Saturday. You guys know how we do it. Every Saturday, 2 p.m. And then if you miss it today, we try to make sure that we have it on Monday evenings at 7:30. So, but let's get right in. Spike, we do this all the time. Before we get into the juicy stuff, we start out with the basic. You got to give us 3 fun facts about you outside the comedy per se, and then we'll talk about your favorite scripture. But let's do that right now. 3 fun facts. What's up?
3 fun facts. I'm a big golfer, man. Love golfing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Been in that game for a long time, man. Playing it, just I love it, man. Absolutely, that's my resting place to go. You know, I go out and walk and do clean holes by myself, or sometimes I jump in with some cats that I know. But sometimes that's my peace. I go out there and just relax, you know, and walk the course, man, and clear my mind. Sometimes I'm out there writing jokes in my head while I'm walking. So fishing, same thing. I love fishing, man. Get my bass fishing on. Good friend of mine, comedian Lavelle Crawford, talked me into it and got me started on it as far as bass fishing. So I spend a lot of time out there as well, out on the water, wetting the lines. And again, time to just rejuvenate the brain, man, and rest. And then, of course, man, I grew up in a family. Everybody bowls, man. We have a bunch of bowlers in the family. My son is the beast on the lanes.
Wait a
So
minute.
bowling as well.
Okay. So we may have to, when you come this way, we may have to get us a bowling thing going, because I love bowling, bro. I
Okay.
love bowling, bro. For real, for real.
That's what we're talking about, man. I have to dust my stuff off, man. I got my shoes, got my bag, got my balls,
Okay.
got it all, man. So I'll come down here. Yeah, we'll make it happen in October.
We may have to get to make that thing do what it do. So
Yes,
listen,
sir.
what you have do you have a favorite scripture that you live by as a clean comedian? If you do, hear it.
I do a bunch of I have a bunch of scriptures I read each morning. One in particular I always start out with, and of course, because you say it so much and you hear it so much, I think sometimes people think it becomes a cliche, but it's still power in its simplicity. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You know, that's me. That's what I need right there. So no matter what I'm going through, whatever's happening in my life, I always try to repeat that out to myself to make sure I remember how I'm covered and how much I'm covered and how much I'm loved.
And I love that. I think that's important too, man. I think it's important that you always have like either a quote or a scripture to live by, because you have those times in life where it gets so deep and it gets so challenging that if you don't have some what we call it foundational either promises, quotes that can motivate you in the moment, I think what happens is we lose the momentum, and a lot of times we allow failure to be our master and not to be a lesson learned or a learning curve. You know what I mean?
Oh, without a doubt. And I think sometimes as men, we really struggle with that because as men, we always feel like I have to handle this. I have to do this. You know, I, everything becomes I, and not understanding there's power already in us that he's given us. And all we have to just plug that into the socket, and
Yeah.
everything lights up for you.
I love that. And I appreciate you sharing that. And you are tuned into the session Bible Beats and Bars. So I do want to go back. We always start with the backstory. And Spike, there's always a backstory. So tell us maybe a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How did you get to this journey? Was it as a kid? Was it you seen somebody? What's the backstory behind clean comedian Spike Davis? Because we're not always clean. What's the deal? Yeah.
Yeah, I started out years ago, man. As a kid, I was a jokester. Like everybody always expects you to class clown and all that stuff. I wasn't really the class clown so much, but I always had little funny quips and things I would drop. We would always talk about each other on the school bus, going back and forth, everybody, especially after basketball practice, after the activities, track practice and all that. We're on the activity bus and we just joan, and some people call it joan, and we call it, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, so we call it riding people out. So we were riding folks out, man, whether it's your outfit or whatever, having you perform that day on the field, all that kind of stuff. So I was always a jokester and quick on the draw, me and one of my other buddies. We became those guys that you didn't want to walk past in the hallway in the morning because everybody had the same homeroom up on the third floor. All of our lockers was lined up. So we'd be standing on one side and he's on the other side. People had to walk down that gauntlet, and we let people have it. So everything had to be on point. You coming up on the third floor. We had some people miss class because they didn't want to come up there and get their books out of the locker because they didn't want to walk the gauntlet.
Ooh, that's tough, man. We used to be ragging on folk too, and folk would be like, I ain't going down that way.
Oh yeah.
Bro. Maybe put these stuff in their backpack. They don't even just go right out I just go right out the door.
Sometimes rather take a tardy than take them jokes. So
that's it.
So I started out doing that, man, and then I got into really just listening to comedy, old Bill Cosby albums, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, just a number of those legendary comedians from back in the day. And back then, man, there was no HBO, no Showtime, no none of that back then. All you had was albums. So we would sit and listen to albums late at night, and I would see how they would structure those jokes and the timing and the cadence and the rhythm of it. I didn't realize all that was going on at the time. I'm doing it, of course, in retrospect now. But now I look back on it, I see that was kind of the starting point for me wanting to do that. And then when Eddie Murphy came out, and he made being a stand-up comedian, a rock star status, to do that big theater and do Raw and Delirious and all of that. So that really set the fire flame. So I went on stage as a young cat, being him. I did Eddie Murphy impressions back in the day. So
Really?
I did that starting out. And then I started getting my own persona on stage, doing my own writing, of course. And that was it for me. I just loved that feeling. I was going to school to be a radiologist. I wanted to be a doctor. So
wait. You were going to school to be a radiologist?
Mm-hmm. I had a scholarship to go. I had 6-year scholarship, actually, full ride. And guys, I came home one day and told my mom and dad, I don't want to do this. I want to do comedy. I want to do it. And my mom was like, you know what, son, you get one go around in this life. You got to do what makes you happy. Don't go to school for me and your dad. Don't do anything for anybody else other than yourself. So I had that blessing, man. So I jumped out from day one and just started hitting open mic nights and just trying to get whatever bookings I could get, whatever gigs I could get, man. If it was a microphone and a stage, I wanted to do that. I didn't care about the money at that point. I just had to get up there and work on my craft.
So how long did you do that before you got your first paid gig? What was that feeling like? You hitting clubs and what have you. That's really an amazing journey to be able to say, okay, I love what I do. I'm going to do what I do until I can make money doing what I do.
Yeah, it took a few years, of doing open mic nights and stuff like that. My brother was working at a lab. He was a supervisor at an environmental lab. So he allowed me to come in and work, and I would do that part-time, working with the water sampling side of things and asbestos sampling. So I worked on that side of the lab for a while. And then when I had gigs, he was like, you know what, go do the gig. So I would bounce off on the weekend, go do gigs. If I got back late on Monday, then I would just work Tuesday through Friday that following week. But they let me work day by day instead of locked in to the whole week. So that was a blessing as well. God just put things in perfect order for me before I even realized he was doing it.
Wow, that is something. Let me tell you, I want to do something really. I think we should. You think we should show them a little bit of snippet of it before we go back and kind of talk about what you think, bro?
Sure, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so we show you a little bit of snippet of the clean comedian, Spike Davis. Professor X, do what you do best. We'll be right back. You already know the business. No More Dirty, the session Bible Beats and Bars, featuring the clean comedian, Spike Davis. Let's do this.
Man, they kind of level the playing field for everybody, because everybody deal with the broke thing. That's why I love these black folk. We know how to be broke. I ain't saying we are broke, but I'm saying if it happens, we can handle it. Am I right about that? Oh yeah, we know how to be broke with style. Oh yeah, come on, man. Bro, we pay half the light bill about a whole outfit. That's how we roll. Your white friends are warning, you'll cut your lights off. I ain't gonna be there. You see this outfit? I'm here at the happy hour. You see this outfit? We don't stress about that kind of stuff, man. We just don't. I saw this in the paper, man. The suicide rate in the country skyrocketed when the economy went down. Suicide rate skyrocketed when the economy went down. I read that in the paper. I had to read further into the article because I'm trying to figure out who are these people. The further I read into the article, I found out who it wasn't. It wasn't us, man. Come on now. Y'all know it ain't us. That's what I think. We don't do it. No. Statistically speaking, we don't do that. So two main reasons why we don't do suicide, we don't even try. Reason number one, because you got a black grandmama who told you to sin against God to kill yourself. That's reason number one. Am I right about that? Let the church say amen. Let the church say amen. Reason number two, scared, we might not do it. Come on now. That'd be the worst thing in the world, wouldn't it? Put a gun in your mouth and blow half your head out. You still gotta go to work the next day? Because you used up all your sick days?
You work with half a head, mad at everybody, man. You get taken away with your half a head. Like, what you looking at? Look at your half a head, Keisha. Trying to comb that lace front wig on that missing spot. Come on now. We don't do suicide. No. Too many reasons. Reason number one, black grandma. Reason number two, scared we might not do it right. Because a chance you might not do it right, bro. Just think about it. It's not foolproof. It's a chance you might not be successful at the wrong time. You have to think about it. Jump off a 10-story building and don't die. Oh yeah, now you just laying out hurt. You can hear the ambulance coming too. You just laying there fussing at yourself. I can't believe I tried that move. I done made another bill for myself. Cause you ain't got no health insurance. Now you get to add to the ambulance driver too. You can add to it in. Don't put the ambulance in. Sir, do not put me in that ambulance. Do not put, look on mom. Don't put the ambulance. Don't put me, I can't afford it. Do not put me in that ambulance. Just tighten up my shoestrings. I'm gonna walk it off. You living down the road. I don't know what I was thinking, jumping off some building that ain't gonna make no sense. We just don't do it. And if you try to kill yourself as a black person and it don't work out, we come to the hospital to see you. When we show up, oh no, it's a whole different scenario. We ain't got no candy, no cards, no bears. We ain't got no balloons and no cute little letter we wrote to you. When we show up, we got straight attitude. Oh, we mad because you ain't even tried. Oh yeah, we don't care if you in and out of a coma, ain't got nothing to do with it. No, so the doctor nurse walk out, we standing right on top of your bed. That was your plan? That was your plan? How you gonna kill yourself and leave everybody else your bills? That was your plan? Oh, punch you in your half a head. Say that word. I'll punch you dead in your half a head. Blink one eye. I'll unplug this machine myself. Blink one eye to see if I want to unplug it.
I'm your host, Minister Fred 2, DJ Sam Smite, Scissor Hand in the building hand, Coach Joe, yo, Monkey Sim, my man Scoop. Stay locked, baby.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Spike. Hey, bring that dude in, man. You looking over me. You don't know what you gonna get a bill one way. Dude, where do you get this content from, bro? Yo.
Boy, just everyday life, man. You know, you think and understand the culture and how we are as a people. And we talk about it, man. You know, it's real stuff. You know, it's kind of deep, kind of a little bit dark, man, but it's the reality of who we are as black people, experientiality, man, wise. That's who we are. We don't do certain things other cultures may do and engage in. So I just, you know, I thought about it, I was like, wow, that's deep. That's not us, but it happens.
You know, I want to dig just a little deeper. First of all, thank you again for taking time to be here with us. You know, I think this is amazing, and when we come back, we're gonna show some other little drops. But I'm really impressed, Spike, with the uniqueness of your content. I know if you go to the website, it says intelligent, it's witty. It really is. It's so witty, it's so intelligent, it's so brilliant, and it's funny. It's like you can relate to somebody that you're talking about in your own family or in your corner or down the street or mama and them, and you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you know what? The human condition doesn't change, but especially within our culture, you know, a lot of stuff, man, you could just do the setup to the joke and people are already laughing because they kind of know where you're going, which is a challenge as a comic because now I got to twist it and go the other way so you can't see the ending to it. So that's kind of the art form, you know, that we all try to get to. That's the angle that we all try to get to, is to put that extra twist on it when you think you know where we're going.
So now let's go back. So did you always do clean comedy, or this was a journey to get to that point? Because your resume, if you go to his website, you'll see he's been, and we're going to talk about some of the spaces he's been, but let's talk about your journey to being a clean comedian.
Well, I'm kind of
And
thankful to the club owner back in Louisville, Kentucky, when I started out at the Comedy Caravan, and Tom Sobel. He had open mic night where we can go down and sign up, but he didn't allow anybody to get on stage as a new comic and do any cussing and do any really dirty material, because he wanted you to find the funny in the material first. Because it's always easy to do something that's taboo and people are going to laugh because, I can't believe he said that. So it's a shock value, and there's not really a lot of meat on the bone. So he made us write jokes and comedy and sets that will be something that people would think about. So I appreciate him for that. Now I look back on it, man, I didn't understand, but man, I get it now. You're able to get in a lot of different places because you can go cleaner than most of the comics that kind of pigeonhole themselves into being a quote unquote dirty comic or whatever. So he didn't want that mark over you. And then he also told me, he let Spike listen to me. He called me in the office. He's like, "You're a funny dude, but don't get up there." And he's a white guy. Actually, he's Jewish. He said, "Don't get up there and try to be a black comic. Just go up there and be a comedian. Go be funny, but don't focus so much on just being black." And I was kind of taken aback by it a little bit, but I'm thinking like, wow, you know what? That's true. Just go be funny first, because comedy is universal. Your blackness is going to come through anyway. Your culture is going to come through anyway in your writing, especially as you mature in the game. So I appreciate that as well from that aspect.
I love that. And I think that is so dope because you just don't see a lot of clean and refreshing comedy all day on most sets. Let's talk about what makes you uniquely different outside the fact that you don't use explicits or your messages are clean. What's another cool thing about you that makes you stand out and more marketable even?
I think I'm starting to tackle a lot of more issues now, social issues and those sorts of things. And I sprinkle in, and I do a lot of inspirational stuff as well. So I give people backstories on my life and the things that I've gone through. And a lot of times you connect with people that have gone through things as well. Obviously, again, the human condition doesn't change. Everybody's had losses in their lives, whether it be parents or other loved ones. So you tie all that back in and you help people to kind of get through that pain, because that's what comedy is for anyway. The Bible says it, laughter is a good medicine, man. So we're medicine men up there. And I don't take it lightly. That's my ministry up there. I believe I reach more people on stage doing clubs than I possibly would just doing church shows. Because when I do a church show, 9 times out of 10, people there already know, the Lord. They're already there in that head space, in that mind space. When you're in a club situation, man, you're hitting some folks that kind of had a foot in and a foot out. And you have to give that little nudge to get them back over there, because things are starting to wrap up, man, and ramp up, as you see in the news. We in the last days, me and my wife was talking about that as well. It's not time to play around now. It's time to reach some folks and get them on in there, because time is starting to wrap up on us.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Another question. Let's go. Now you have done a lot of traveling. Who are some of the individuals that you have had the opportunity to do appearances with, let's say comedians, and what do they mean to you? Maybe 2 or 3 of them, or whatever works for you. Some of those amazing comedians that you have developed relationships that you rock stages with.
Oh yeah, well, my best friend in the comedy game, Lavelle Crawford, that's my dude there. That's a good buddy of mine. We started out years ago, man, 30-something years ago, hitting those stages. But then, of course, Steve Harvey. Steve was an established comedian here before I even really got all the way in the game. I met him years ago when he was living in Cleveland, and he told me if he ever made it, he would take me on the road with him. He's like, "Man, I'm gonna come back and grab you if I ever get up here the way I plan on getting up here." Man, he was true to his word too.
Wow.
He actually got up there, blew up, hit me up one day, and I happened to answer the phone. He was like, "This is Steve, man. You want to hit the road? You want to go on the road with me?" I was like, "Shoot, let's do it." So we ended up touring with him for a few years, hit some stages in the country, Radio City Music Hall, the Hollywood Bowl in LA, 10,000 people in the crowd. That was his show. I was opening up for him and the OJs. So just stuff like that. I was able to open up able to talk to her backstage and bend her ear and grab some knowledge from her. You name it. I've done some stuff with Bernie Mac, open for Chris Rock. You name it, Jamie Foxx. The list goes on. Just some great people, and they're really great people off stage too. So what you see 9 times out of 10 is what you get with all those folks. They're regular people.
Wow. This is really good. You know what I love, Spike, about you, and you're an everyday guy that is concerned about seeing people's lives transform for the better through comedy. Like it's like a mission. Like, so is that your mission? And how extensive is your mission as a comic, as a stand-up, as a comedian, as a writer? You know, you've done all kind of stuff, acting. What does that mission look like for you and for the audience listening?
Well, this mission has evolved over the years as you mature as a man, as a Christian as well. Your mission changes. You're able to handle more. You know, I'm able to talk about things that before I couldn't really talk about it and have it be funny and entertaining. Now, with the Holy Spirit, man, he's able to just guide my steps, man, order my steps and order my tongue, you know, to put that humor out in a way where it's really touching folks. You know, we're in a touchy time now where everybody's super sensitive. So without him, I wouldn't be able to navigate through the space that we're in right now to be able to talk about some of those subjects, whether it's critical race theory or just racism as a whole, and all those things that we're all dealing with, whether it's touching us individually or if we're watching on TV, it's still grabbing us, it's still touching us in some way, because we're all humans. Nobody can watch somebody just be in pain and just be okay with it. That's not entertainment for folks. So that's our thing. That's our relief that we bring to people. When you turn that TV as the news, we're able to come and bring you something funny right on the heels of that and help you rest. So my mission has changed over the years, and it's still evolving even as we speak. You know, again, I feel like that stage now is my ministry, working with Carnival Cruise Lines and traveling with all these ships. I've been on 26 of their ships, and I'm bouncing around all the time. And you do these shows for people, and you don't realize who you're touching. I've had people come up to me after the show and say, I lost my mom last week, and we were going to cancel the cruise. But my family talked us all into coming, so we decided to come anyway. And I had that lady come up to me and hug me that night and say, thank you. Thank you for what you've done. I'd be in a grocery store and have a guy come up and say, thank you for coming and doing a show at the prison. I felt like a human again, because I felt like when I got in here, nobody cared about us again. You know, I felt almost like an animal. So those kind of things, they touch you deeply. I get choked up even, you know, talking to you and telling you about it right now. God is good, man.
Yeah, man. I am really, I was impressed when I received your information, and shout out to envision-radio.com. And we're going to talk a little bit about your show. I want to let them see here another little piece, if you don't mind, because
oh yeah,
you a funny dude, bro. So let's go to. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm laughing. I got to see it before y'all. So, but let's go to this joint. Professor X, shout out to my man, co-producer Professor X. He gonna put you on, and we'll be right back with Spike Davis. You already know the business, man. You got me tripping, bro. You got me tripping on this one. We'll be right back.
No more dirty. No more dirty. No more dirty. No more dirty.
I'm your host, Minister Fred 2. DJ Sam Smite. Scissor hand in the building hand. Coach Joe. Yo. Marcus Sim. My man Scope. Stay locked, baby.
No more dirty.
we worship differently while we down here. Ain't that big of a deal. Have you ever been to an all-white church before? Have you ever been to an all-white church? Have y'all been? Oh, cool. Y'all gotta come back and see us. Come back and see us sometime. We got every Sunday. Come on in, man. But I figured it out, man. I figured out why one church get out before the other church. Because I went to church with my boy Brian. That's my buddy from back home in Kentucky. Little white dude, loving to death, like a brother to my dog buddy. He invited me to go, man, Sunday morning, so I went and tried it out. But I'm taking mental notes the whole time I'm there, trying to figure out why they get out before we do. See, first of all, at the white church, everything is very calm and well behaved at the white church. Come on, even when you walk in, ain't nobody really there yet, but the walls is singing when you get there already. You know, you ever experienced that? You walk in, it's like, but I sat down anyway. Even though it's kind of weirded me out. I felt like I was in a Damien movie. One of them scary movies, I wasn't used to that music coming out the walls like that. Second reason is the pastor of the two churches. Because I'm sitting there, man, and the pastor came in, the white pastor came in, kind of like Joe Osteen. Y'all know Joe, he was talking about that earlier, man. He came in so smooth and so mellow. I never seen that before. This morning, we're gonna worship. In song and prayer, worship, just worship him. Say it with me, worship. One more time, worship. Just the women, worship. And he stayed mellow like that throughout the whole service. See, the way I grew up, now I've never seen a black pastor talk like that. When the black pastor come in, he's already on level 10. He's already hot. Y'all know what I'm talking about? This morning we're gonna worship. We're gonna worship. We're gonna worship. We're gonna worship. And that's when they walking in from the parking lot. He's already hot. He's doing the gospel moonwalk on the way in. But the main reason is the music situation. And the two churches allow one church to get out before the other church. Because I'm sitting there at the white church. And I noticed the choir at the white church, they just came on in and sat down. They came walking in and sat down. Came moseying in and sat down. They just came strolling in, y'all. And sat down. Come on, y'all. You ain't never seen nobody at the black church, the choir just walk in and sat down. Especially on youth Sunday. See, the black choir don't even come in from this way. Which way they come in on a special time? From the front doors. And do they just walk in and sit down? Oh no, y'all know what happens, right? You gotta march in, man. Oh yeah, it's like a Beyonce concert about to kick off. Oh, it's off the chain, man. The musicians, man, they got a beat going and everything. It's like, amazing. Grace, 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 6 minutes of the pastor's on. Oh yeah. We put Dougie Fresh in morning service at the black church. But at the white church,
boy, you out of control. Bring that brother in, Professor. These 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh, yo, bro, you are funny, yo, that was hilarious, man. That's only like 3 minutes. You got everybody just flipping out. Oh, son. Oh,
that's our experiences, man. That's what everybody knows. I mean, that's just such a common thing in our culture that, you know, we can relate to. And when I was growing up, we used to go to church, and we would maybe every first Sunday, probably not even that often, but every once in a while, we would visit another church, or another church would come and visit us. And sometimes the white church would come and visit us, or we'd go to their church.
Right.
Man, you got to see the stark difference right there, face to face.
But you know what I love about it is how you're able to take what the world uses against each other, black and white issues, issues of discrimination, issues of difference, and you make it humorous, and then you turn it into, like, when you started, you was like, hey man, we all good people, but let me tell you the difference. And then you turn around and wrapped it up like, you know, we all human, we're all love. I think that is brilliant, especially in a world where everything is one pitted against another, especially culturally.
Oh
Why
yeah.
don't you do that, man? You know?
Yeah, the division, man, is just ridiculous. I speak about that a lot on my shows. When I wrap up my last shows, we do 5 different shows on the ships. I make sure that's the last message they hear from me before I leave the ship, or before the passengers leave the ship. That's what the last message they get from me is how we're all in this thing together. You know, literally and figuratively, we're in this thing together, and it's the top against the bottom now, more so than it is black against white.
You're right.
Until we realized that we're not gonna progress. You know, we got to the point where we made political leaders celebrities. You know, we're running up taking pictures with them and all of that. Why? Those are our employees. And we
Come
need to
on.
realize that and keep that in perspective that they're working for us.
Mm,
Not have them to do, they need to come out of there. And we put some more folks in there and they suffer the same, don't go in there, we as a people. But, you know, they've tricked white folks into thinking that black people and brown people have made them broke and put them in those bad positions that they're in as white folks.
right.
So they pit us again, like you just said. And
Yeah.
again, it's top in the bottom. It's the leaders looking down. So,
Yeah.
you know, I get into all issues, and I'm telling you, there's silence in the crowd at some portions of the show, and I'm
Right.
good with that because there needs to be silence so they can really hear what I'm trying to say, and hopefully they're taking it in. You know, everything about comedy shouldn't always be about giant chuckles. There should be some in there and some awake as well.
You know, let's talk a little bit. We're going to come back and do a little wrap, but I do want to speak to, let's talk about your show. First of all, why don't you let our viewers and our listeners, because they'll be able to hear it on the podcast, but our viewers, if you would let them know how they can follow you, your contact information, how they can follow you, and then we want to talk a little bit about some other things. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, definitely my website. SpikeDavis.com is my website. Just go on the website. You can find everything you need to know. Just click on the proper tab for whatever you're looking for. Touring schedules, our travel dates or whatever. The radio show, Spike Davis and Friends radio show, which is on Sundays at 11 o'clock on envision-radio.com. So everything you need, I'll send everybody to the website. I always try to make sure that's a one-stop shop for everything that you need. I'll put my schedules up for the whole year, which I'm going to update that in the next 24 hours, and invite people to come and kick it. If you've never been out on the ocean, you need to come out there and hang out. Come on out there, man. It's relaxing, and it's just a good time to let your go and just feel that ocean breeze and look at the moon and the stars late at night. It's a glorious place to be. It's almost very spiritual to and enjoy that. So, but all my website stuff, man, all my information is on the website. Social media stuff, everything. Spike Davis and Friends show.
I love that. So let's talk about your show. Let's go there. Let's go there. You have a radio show. Tell us about your radio show, how long you've been doing it, and how they can tune in and listen from week to week.
Yeah, it's on envision-radio.com. You can go right up there and click on. It's on every Sunday at 11 a.m. I love you guys to come on and check it out. There's a lot of inspirational music that we play on the shows. I have great interviews. We have a segment called Build Black Better. We bring on community leaders from all over the country, people that are doing great in our communities, doing good in the hood, as it were, but building our community up from the inside out and stop waiting for other people to pour into us. We have enough resources within our own communities that we can latch onto each other and explode from the inside out. So Build Black Better series, I'm proud of that thing. It's taking off. And we have on great people each and every week. Minister Fred was one of those people that came on and did a great job. So we want to make sure we are leaders that are doing good stuff. We always talk about when people are doing wrong, are doing bad things. How about we go the other way? Put a positive spin on it. Some great people out there doing great things that don't get the hugs and the pat back. And then of course we have celebrities, some comedian buddies and people that I've met throughout the years, as far as singers as well. So it's just a lot of great interviews, great content. I love you guys to check it out. Spike Davis and Friends show on envision-radio.com.
And let me just say this as you bring us back in together, Professor. The radio station that he is syndicated on is called Envision, ENVISON -radio, RADIO.com. Shout out to the Cannon family and to all Admiral and all those great individual team for what they do. We're on as well. They brought us on. Thanks to this guy and Liz A. It's just on and popping. You know what I mean? So we appreciate what you're doing, Spike. Let me ask a question. When you were talking, I had hit me up and said, "What was that? What was that? Maybe one experience that you knew then you need to stay clean." So when you were making that journey, like you were saying, you were transitioning to being a clean comedian, having experienced all of that. What was it? A specific experience, or was it just was the Holy Spirit saying no more?
No, I just think it's kind of been who I've been throughout my life. The way I speak with you right now is the way I speak. I don't have to become something else or be something else. Just who I am. And I think the more stage time that you get, you're able to really be who you are.
Gotcha.
I tell young comics to always be true to themselves. Whatever your persona is, just be that, and let it ring true to the crowd, because they can tell when you're faking the funk, as it were. Just be who you are and just be comfortable in that thing and explode inside of your niche and whatever you do. So that's just me being me. I'm not walking cussing everybody out all day. So that's just me. When I get on the stage, I'm pretty much the same as me, same old Spike. I just talk about different things, different vocation. That's all.
I love that. So let me ask one more question, and then we're gonna let them hear a little bit more. For you, now that you've kind of you've done HBO, tell us some of those places, the clubs, the stages you've hit. You told us about some of the people that you've rocked with. What about some of those platforms, maybe national TV, a little regional? What would those look like? So folk, we know, you and I know, but I think just
right.
Listening and watching.
Yeah, I was honored, man, to be able to do HBO Def Comedy Jam. And I was able to do that season 1 with Martin Lawrence was hosting. So I was able to do that and then come back and host again with Joe Torre hosting. So I did Def Comedy Jam twice. I've been on BET Comic View when DL was the original host on Comic View.
Okay.
And all the way up to when Sid was hosting and Bruce and all of that. So I did that for, I think, like 13 seasons straight. It was on for a while. So BET had a long run, BET Comic View. Showtime Laugh-A-Palooza with Jamie Foxx. Just a number of different shows throughout the years. The New York market has always been great. I appreciate those folks up there. When they love you, when you're not ready, they'll let you know that as well. And make no bones about it. But that's kind of, I did Showtime at the Apollo. And
wow. What was that like?
Well, it was great. It was great to be able to hit that stage. Oh, yeah. Now, I didn't do the amateur hour, so fortunately, I was able to go in when they were doing comedy only.
Okay.
So, so that was really cool to be able to go do that show, but still get that historic feel of just being in a place that gives you goosebumps when you walk in, thinking about all the legends that walked on that stage, and you get to do that stage as well. So that's one of my proudest moments as well. It's just been a number of things throughout the years, man, be able to do these great places. Like I said, Radio City Music Hall, the Hollywood Bowl, those places you don't forget.
Yeah. So now you're premiere doing a lot of cruises. What has been the difference? Because I mean, of course, you rocking stages everywhere. You seeing a lot of people, celebs, all year round. I mean, a lot of weeks on the sea. What has been? Is there a difference for you being on the sea versus being in major platforms, or how do you see that now, years later, doing what you do?
The big difference is you're able to hit a whole cross section of the country in 1 week, as opposed to bouncing to every club from Des Moines, Iowa to New York City to Miami to Seattle. You go to one place and they all come see you from all of those places. So that's the biggest difference. So you're able to speak to all those different people and plant those seeds of the things we were just talking about as far as race and all those things, and letting people understand, look at us. We're sitting here shoulder to shoulder, laughing and having a good time and not thinking about what we look like or where we came from. We're just people enjoying life, trying to get people back to that simple, basic thing of just enjoying the blessing that God gave us, another 24 hours and another 24 hours and another one, and just embracing each day.
Wow. So I do want to ask one more, and this is this as a person that has you're obviously very well versed in what you've done. You have this experience. So for other individuals that are thinking comedy, thinking entertainment, what advice would you give them in terms of the positives? Let's start with that.
Mhm.
And, going for their dream, even though sometimes it may seem a little dismal or very distant from
Mhm.
their reality. What would you say to that dreamer or that person that is like, I want to do this, even though I have this, this, and this? What do you give that person? I think that's important.
Man, I just say go all in. Because if you're not going to do it now, when are you going to do it? How long are you going
Mm,
to keep on putting it off? How long are you going to keep on saying, I want to do this, I want to do this? Because the days and the years and months, all that stuff keeps piling up on you before you know it. You're on the back end of this thing. Jump in there right now. What are you waiting on? It doesn't even matter what age you are. If you're funny, if you're talented, if you can sing, if you do poetry, whatever it is, what are you waiting on? Will be my question to you out there. Go do it now. And if you don't do it well, just keep going, keep plugging away. If you know truly in your heart of hearts, that's what you want to do, make a way to that thing and stop making excuses not to do that thing. Because it's easier to not do it and have regrets on the back end. You don't want to lay there, man, taking those last breaths and wondering, man, I wonder if I could have done that thing, whatever that thing is. Whatever you know is eating at you every day while you laying there late at night. Are you watching somebody else do it? I have a lot of times people, man, I watch you up there doing it. You look comfortable, man. You funny. I think I can do this. I'm like, well, stop thinking and go do it. What you waiting on? There's an open mic night somewhere in the city or within driving distance. Go on and run up there and try it out one time. And if it doesn't go well, guess what? Go back home, retool it, and go try it again. What's it going to hurt? Nothing's going to kill you, man, as far as rejection. Every comic's been through it. Everybody's been booed. Every comic's been heckled. Every one of them. Your favorite comic did not start out being Kevin Hart. They started out doing open mic nights in bars and grills where people are just staring at you. Are they playing pool or watching TV and drinking in the corner and not listening to you? But you connected with one couple in the front that was listening. And that was enough to spark you to say, I can do this. Go do it, man.
I love
I
that.
know I sound like I'm doing a cliche in a Nike commercial, but go do that thing. These days are piling up. If COVID didn't teach you nothing else, it taught you the value each and every day that you get.
That's true. Okay, one more question, and then we're gonna get to let them go out with a ride out with this joint. Um, in terms of you being able to navigate negative things, maybe toxic relationships, toxic, vices, what would you say to someone who may be struggling, they want to be successful, but they are, the things in their path? How were you able to navigate some of those things? And what would you say to someone in terms of making right choices or healthy choices so that they can be successful and reach their dream?
Back to how we started the show out, brother. To be honest with you, those affirmations out, pulling those scriptures out, whatever it is that connected with you. It could be just one scripture that you need to keep on the ready, in your wallet or in your pocket, man. That's your weapon there. Pull that gun out. That when you're starting to feel weak and you're starting to feel the attacks of the evil one. Pull that out and say it out loud, because there's so much power in the word. You gotta flee. You can't pull in Jesus and Satan sticks around. Good
Yeah.
can't dwell in the same place. So put those words out there. Say it out loud too. There's nothing better than saying it out loud and letting your body and your mind and your soul hear what you just said. Proclaim it, man, and your body will start responding in kind. That would be my advice to everybody. It's tough. You're going to go through those hills, those journeys, those ups and downs, but just scream it out loud. Say it. Tears might be coming down, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's healing in the power of his word.
I love that. You know what? I would love to, I'm going to shoot a word of prayer up, and I want to ask God to continue to bless what you're doing, Spike. And
Thank
then after that, we're going to go out with a little snippet of what you have and an amazing artist. We always try to end with some really dope lyrics and what have you. So let me pray for you, And then we make the announcement about the October. We got to do that. You know what I mean? So let me do
Yes,
a prayer
indeed.
for you first. Let's do that. So God, we just want to say thank you for what you have done and what you are constantly doing for clean comedian Spike Davis. Pray you would continue to put a special hedge of protection, favor, and continue to encourage and strengthen his faith. Continue to bless his comic sets, his stand-up, his writing. Continue to bless him as he blesses the many, 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 whether he's on the sea, whether he's on land, whether he's on TV, whether he's on radio, whether he is just at home with his family or whether he's on the golf course kicking it with his partners, or whether he's just going down the street and someone saying, hey, man, I appreciate your music. I appreciate your comic stand. But you just bless him. And you bless him over and abundantly above what he thinks, what he asks, and even what he believes. And even the times when it's a little challenging to believe, I ask that you would encourage and strengthen his faith. Bless his comic relief and just bless him, favor him. I say, Lord, favor isn't fair. So you bless his favor to be so good that everybody wants him. And they want him not just because he's funny, but because he's changing and transforming lives. So we thank you in the name of Yeshua the Christ, who is Jesus the Bible. In his name we pray. Amen. Bro, man,
Amen.
I love
Amen.
it.
Amen.
Thanks for being on the show, bro.
Man, thank you for that, man. Thank you for that prayer, man. Ooh, that's everything right there. Thank you.
That's what it is, man. So listen, we got to tell y'all, this is the announcement in round 2. You got it last week. Now we got national clean comedian Spike Davis coming to the 2nd annual Good Music and Arts Festival right here in Huntsville, Alabama. It's going to be on Sunday, October the 2nd, 2022. And obviously it's going to kick off 3. I mean, this thing is getting good. Spike, what can we look for, man? Because you had us messed up, man. What you been doing?
Oh, I'm excited to come, man. This is gonna be all day right here. Everybody start getting your pennies together, man. Come on down there. Get your gas money together and come. You got to save up, man. Gas ain't playing right now. So everybody come on and hang out October the 2nd. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna drive down. As a matter of fact, gas too high. I'm just gonna FedEx myself down there. So come and pick me up down there next. It's cheaper than gas, man.
Make sure you put some holes in the box. Y'all know he gonna not only do his thing, but he gonna co-host this thing, man. I'm just gonna be standing there laughing. I'm telling you now. So you got to be there. Big Spring Park East. That's downtown Huntsville. That big park, you already know it's gonna be right there with the fountain falls and all the water and all. It's just beautiful. And we got this huge stage. My man gonna be doing this thing. And we got just more and more and more. But we want to say thanks, Spike, for coming off the sea, coming off the stage and getting on our stage and doing work. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be dope, man. Again.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. And I'm excited, brother. God bless you.
That's what's up. So, hey, on behalf of us here at the session, Bible Beats and Bars, listen, I got to tell Professor, let's show them what we do the whole weekend. Every Friday night, you know what we do? We do this thing. It's called No TV. It's on every Friday night, 7:30 Central Standard Time. That's PM. Now, don't try and we ain't up early in the morning like that. Don't get it twisted. It's gonna be, and if you're on the West Coast, you double back 2 hours. If you're on the East Coast, you go up 1, right? So that's every Friday evening, 7:30 Central Standard Time. And we got the dopest, the cleanest music videos. You already know. You've seen some here on the show. Imagine a whole hour of that, and then features and drops. Then on Saturday, you get what you get right now. Every Saturday, 2 p.m., the session, Bible Beats and Bars. Professor X doing what he do on the back. You already know Scissorhand is always making sure the thing is right. And he's live turntable from time to time. We mix it up because we have so many great artists that we want to feature. And then also my co-host there is Marcus Sims of Marcus Sims Media. And then on Saturday night, let's go Saturday night. Thank you. Saturday night, we have DJ Scissorhand Radio. Now, you hear him on the radio show. This dude got his own show. Every Saturday night. He takes, let's Spike, he commercial beats, the one that you be like, oh my God, do you have to say that? Do you have to say that? He baptizes commercial national hits all day long, all night long. So if you like
Oh, I
the
got to hear that.
like he baptizes beats, and you'll be like, oh man, I didn't know that was they had a radio version. Yep, they got one. DJ Scissorhand featured. And that's every Saturday night, 9 p.m. on G93. That's www.live365.com app. And shout out to the owner, that is Ed Gaines of Ed Gaines Entertainment. And then on Sunday, you already know how we get down, man. We get down 103.1 at 6 p.m. That's the whole squad. That's Scissorhand, DJ Sam Smite. That's Coach Joe. That's Marcus Sims. That's myself. That's then you got Scope in the background, keeping sure that's at 6 o'clock. But then if you go back 1 hour at 5, then we're on G93 5. Same thing, the whole squad. And you already know it is on and popping. You don't want to miss it. This Sunday, do what you do. And of course, you know, we're going to do Monday. We do it on envision-radio.com. And that's at 4 p.m. Eastern, which would be 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's what it is. Like, we want to thanks again for hanging out with us. We'll see you again. You already know the business. Stay lock and loaded. Subscribe to our channel. That is No More Dirty INC. Everything No More Dirty Inc. That's Twitter, Instagram, that's Facebook, that's YouTube, and also the show. All right, we'll see you next week. You already know the business. Let's go. Give it to him, Professor. Do what you do, baby. Let's go.
No more dirty. No more dirty. No more dirty. No more dirty.
The blood of Christ made us clean.
The No More Dirty TV show, hosted by Minister Fred 2, airing the cleanest and dopest music videos in the industry every Wednesday and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on the No More Dirty Inc. YouTube channel. We got clean, positive Christian hip-hop and urban music for your viewing and listening pleasure. We also have music video exclusives, interviews, ciphers, life lessons, and more. Make sure to follow us at Minister Fred 2, at No More Dirty Inc., and at No More Dirty Radio Show. For more information, email us at info@nomoredirty.org or call 256-698-9749. The No More Dirty TV show. Connect with us and tune in.
Before I get out of here, I want y'all to use your imagination. I'm going to introduce Prince in just a couple of seconds. I want y'all to scream like we at the game. He's going to come out and sing the Star Spangled Banner. I'm going to introduce him, man. Prince is coming out. Y'all ready for him? Yeah. Oh, no, it ain't everybody. Y'all ready for him? Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this ain't the Star Spangled Banner for the first game of the World Series. Give it up, Put your hands together for the artist we all know as Prince. Go and get it back. Say, can you see? But the doors early night. Oh, so proudly we hail. While the flag still standing there with all the bombs resting in air, standing bravo to see a symbol of our liberty. Listen, you guys been wonderful. I'm Spike, baby. Thank y'all so much for having me. appreciate that, man. I'm coming back to see y'all. Thank y'all so much. God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah. Look, I was the one in them classes, youngin' but making it happen. 202 down in Manhattan, never had Gucci or Louis Dior, but this music, I swear that I did it in fashion. Don't gotta rush, I got hours in this, and you know that I'm really about action. Can believe that they counted me out, I be running them numbers just like how I knew it would happen. Don't gotta count to be fitted, they for whatever I'm living. When I die, put my name with the best of them, just to inspire the rest of my city. They don't know what we had to endure. Youngin' was sleeping on floors, with the all-states, but God had us insured. Rapping that Boys and Girl Club on the tour, around the same time parents got a divorce. Honestly, what really made me mature, we had to pay lots just to get to the door. They hate and say Diddy, they know I'm a bad boy. I've been on since I was 16. They was how they been losing their steam. I was quiet, she thought I was shy from watching the throne to being the king. Yeah, came from the bottom, yeah, I paid the price, they couldn't afford it. Yeah, I had to build from the ground, I never could let them destroy it. They said that they hard, they cover my coffins, a hole in their story. Yeah, I'm living my dream, I gotta thank God and give him the glory, yeah. Came from the bottom, yeah, I paid the price, they couldn't afford it. I had it built from the ground, I never could let them destroy it. They said that they hard, they cover my coffins, a hole in their story, yeah. I'm living my dream, I gotta thank God and give him the glory. Look, y'all OGs not leading no way, I swear they just getting y'all way. I remember when Toe gave the platform and gave me the power, I almost got carried away. It was major when I got a minor verse, if I could be honest, that's back when he gave me the game. All the ones that was hating, they looking like Jordan, cause they just been fading away. I gotta thank God, cause I don't look like what I've been through. VA the foe that I sent to, no I skate when I give them this new. They know I'm a bad boy, they tryna keep up, they huffing and puffing. We made it from scratch, from nothing to something. I'm loving a person like got me becoming. I got my rib when I'm hitting my prime. I know a lot at stake, can hate it or love it, it's not a game. I'm living with Elvis, Selena, Grace. Look, I'm living my dream, so I smile. We went from pennies to proud, remove all the things, so I stay with a shout. Get used to the kid, cause I'm sticking around. You did? Came from the bottom, yeah, I paid the price, they couldn't afford it, yeah. I had to build from the ground, I never could let them destroy it. They said that they hard, they cover my coffins, a hole in their story, yeah. I'm living my dream, I gotta thank God and give him the glory, yeah. Came from the bottom, yeah, I paid the price, they couldn't afford it. I had to go from the ground, I never could let them destroy it. They said that they hard, they cover my coffins, a hole in their story, yeah. I'm living my dream, I gotta thank God and give him the glory.